Hello everyone, welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and in today's Cryptid Corner mini-episode, I have once again two more articles dealing with the UFO question, folks. One, dealing, are aliens hiding from us in outer space? And two, the UFO office is facing some, interesting subjects. So, let's get into the first article, folks. Could alien technology be invisible to our telescopes? And read how maybe some upscale alien civilizations could exist in our, universe, and we just don't know it because they're so powerful. So let's get into it now. About 50 years ago, astronomers Nikolai Kadyshev created a scale to rank alien civilizations by how much energy they use. A new study in the Astrophysical Journal revisits his ideas, suggesting they may not be the best way to find advanced extraterrestrial life, the debrief.org reports. Kadyshev's scale has three types of civilizations. Type 1 uses all the energy on their planet, like solar or wind power across Earth. Type 2 captures energy from their star, possibly with a Dyson sphere, a giant structure surrounding the star to collect its energy. Type 3 controls energy from an entire galaxy. However, the study by Brian C. Lackey from the Breakthrough Listen Initiative argues we should focus less on energy use and more on how detectable a civilization's technology is. Lackey points out that advanced civilizations might not build huge structures like Dyson spheres because they're hard to maintain. For example, a Dyson sphere could face massive stress from gravity or material wear, making it impractical. That could very well be the truth, folks, but then again, we don't know what alien civilizations are actually capable of. But the fact that we don't detect them, it's not the fact that such things as Dyson spheres would be easily detectable. It's the fact that these alien civilizations, if they are as powerful as people really think and fear that they are, they could easily hide themselves from any other civilization by using advanced technology that we've only basically, theorized could exist. In reality, it could actually be, but here's a diagram detailing, energy consumption estimating three types of civilizations defined by the Kadyshev scale. And as you can see, it's one planet to basically a solar system to the entire galaxy. This is basically what Kadyshev theorized, but that's just his idea. This guy, Brian C. Lackey, he has his own ideas, so let's get back to the article and hear more of them. Instead, aliens might use swarms of smaller objects like satellites orbiting a star to collect energy. These swarms are easier to build, but risky. If one piece fails, it could crash into others, creating a chain reaction of debris. Lackey calls this a collisional cascade where the swarm elements are smashed into fragments that are in turn smashed into smaller pieces and so on until the entire structure has been reduced to dust. This is similar to worries about space junk around Earth known as Kessler syndrome. Because of these challenges, Lackey says most megaswarms are thus likely to be short-lived on cosmic timescales without active upkeep. Well, that does make sense to me, folks. Upkeep on these smaller celestial objects like satellites do need to basically be maintained, otherwise they fail. But that might not be the same for actual alien civilizations. That, if they do exist, might have solved that problem easily. Either way, let's continue. Advanced civilizations might also prioritize efficient technology that produces less waste, like compact digital systems, making them harder to spot. This means even a Type 2 civilization might not leave obvious signs we can detect from Earth. The Kadyshev scale is still a popular idea in science fiction, but it may not guide our search for aliens effectively. Lackey suggests we focus on what we can actually observe with today's telescopes, like unusual light patterns or signals, rather than expecting massive structures. His paper, Ground to Dust, Collisional Cascades and the Fate of Kadyshev 2 Megaswarms, shifts the focus to practical ways to find alien life. Practical ways to find alien life may not actually be, the best way either, folks. Now, all of these are theories. Until the day we can actually prove alien life exists, we can only, theorize what that life will actually look like, folks, and could basically present itself to us in ways we can't even imagine. So this is why I say all of these different theories like the Kadyshev scale or Lackey's theory are just, ideas. Until we can prove it, it'll stay like that. But folks, let's move on to the next article. Pentagon's UFO office faces new oversight in 2026 defense bill. Let's read how the Pentagon's UFO office will basically, have to deal with various things in the future, folks. So let's get into this article and read, how. Of the 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA includes three provisions impacting the Pentagon's UAP Identified Anomalous Phenomena investigations. These would require briefings on UAP intercepts by NORAD and U.S. Northern Command SEC 1555 a consolidated UAP classification guide, SEC 1556, and streamlined reporting for the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, SEC 1561. Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense Christopher Millen called the provisions a welcome step, but stressed more can and should always be done. All right? So these provisions in this bill basically detail certain things that this UAP office will have to do, I think. That's what they're trying to say, folks. Either way, so far, very interesting. So, apparently, the Pentagon's taking UAP, information collection very seriously, and they're basically using this and these different, provisions to basically do this far better. But let's continue. He criticized NORAD's failure to share UAP data with AARO, promptly noting, by the time AARO learns of these intercepts, if it does at all, NORAD's critical sensor data is often no longer available. Millen also raised concerns about a proposed change allowing UAP data to be withheld from AARO for protecting intelligence sources, arguing it could limit transparency. The bill also requires AARO to declassify some UAP records. Millen pointed out that since 2017, the Pentagon has suppressed UAP footage, stating that was wrong and it's past time for the current draconian classification guide to change. That's incredibly good, folks. Maybe we can get actual information out of this, bureau for once. Actual classified information on sightings and videos of UAP and UFO, footage. That's incredibly good, folks. I have to say, I'm really happy about hearing that. But the thing is, folks, will they actually do so? That's the problem with the government, folks. They say one thing and often they just, they will often lie, or at the very least, they said they're going to do something, but they actually just do nothing at all. So that's the problem here, folks. Will anything come of this? Let's read on and then we can, hope and theorize that maybe something will. However, he warned AARO could still withhold many records and urged Congress to mandate routine public releases. Retired Navy Rear Admiral Timothy Gallaudet, who has advocated for UAP transparency, supports the provisions, but believes they fall short of the broader UAP Disclosure Act, UAPDA, which seeks deeper oversight. These UAP provisions are all good individually, but the bigger picture is that they dilute, distract, and compete with the authorities of the UAPDA. He said Millen's UAP Disclosure Fund also backs the UAPDA, hoping it will be added to the NDAA later. Indeed, folks, all these provisions do look good, but the fact is, maybe they won't do anything and they'll just get in the way. So that is indeed something we could fear that could happen, folks. And maybe it was basically written intentionally like that by the authors, because maybe they're actually working for the deep state or others who want the UFO question never to be answered. That is, my fear, folks, about all of this. But let's finish off this article and then we can basically talk about this, as I've said before so many times, a bit more. Millen emphasized that more transparency could create a virtuous cycle where more information leads to greater understanding of and interest in UAP, impelling further legislation. Indeed, folks, this is something I really hope for. But as I said, folks, there's a possibility that those involved with this, legislation are basically going to use it to once again obfuscate the truth and keep people from learning what is actually going on. Are we being visited by UFOs? And those that are controlling these UFOs, or as I said before, spacecraft, are indeed individuals from another planet or even from another universe or time? Until we can basically get real legislation that can deal with that fact, folks, and nothing that I fear could basically be used to hinder the process to basically find the truth. Until then, we can only hope that indeed that these efforts by some of these people who I do believe have, good in their hearts and want to get to the truth. Until then, we can only hope that basically their efforts will yield anything and basically tell us something of what is really going on. But until then, folks, we can only hope. So let's hope that this time something does happen. But folks, we're at the end, so please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read comics, they're bad for you. You can use the YouTube link down below in the descriptions of the chat to go subscribe to me. Hit that like button for me. Make sure you're still subscribed. Leave some comments down below. Hit that bell for notifications. Hit the part of the bell that will give you all future notifications. And please share this video out. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow with another great video. So be sure to come back again then. Till next time, folks, I'll see you all again soon.